Well, happy Monday to you. I hope you're doing well and I hope you had a great weekend. I trust that you continue to grow in your relationship with the Lord and you were able to worship either in person or at a church, either digitally or in person. So this week we're starting week 2 of our study of Jesus. We're going to be in John chapter 4. So this week the plan is to be in John 4, then John 5, 6, and 7. So hopefully you'll be able to join me and continue to grow as we lean into Easter Sunday and Holy Week coming. So we're going to be in John chapter 4 this morning. As you find John 4, I want to ask you a question. I want you to be honest, be brutally honest. How many of you have ever ducked out of an aisle or you have pretended that you didn't see someone because you didn't want to have a conversation with them? If you've gone down an aisle, you've seen them and then you ducked out, or even perhaps you knew it was them, but you pretended like you didn't see them and say, oh, well, it was the mask. I didn't realize it was you. I think if we would all be honest with each other this morning, we have all done that. And so this morning, we're going to look at Jesus and how he did not avoid people, but he actually went to the very people that that others would be avoiding. So let's go to John chapter 4, verse 27. As you turn there this morning, let me set up the context for you. It's the Jesus with the Samaritan woman. Now, the Jewish people, they hated the Samaritans. Why was that? Well, the Samaritans were a mixed group of people in heritage. They did not have a pure heritage, therefore, the Jewish people would want nothing to do with them. They were considered an unclean race. If you want to study more about this, I could take you to 2 Kings chapter 17 if you want to have some more study on that. But the Jewish people, a good Jewish person, they would not even go through their area. They didn't want to go into their territory or around their country, so they would take the long way around just to avoid any possible contact with them. Now, Jesus, he took the opposite stance. Jesus, he was about avoiding cultural trends, and he said, I'm not going to avoid this area. I'm actually going to go through this area because there's a divine encounter that I need to have with this woman. Jesus didn't walk around the area, he walked right through the area. He didn't take a shortcut, he went right through, or he took a shortcut. He didn't go the long way around. He wanted to go to this area. Now, he didn't just avoid taking a long route, he took the shortcut, but he stopped. And a Jewish person, if they would ever have to go through that area, they would almost run through that area so that the uncleanliness couldn't keep up with them. But Jesus walked right through, and then he stopped, and he sat, and he took a drink. And he didn't stop there. He sat there, he took a drink, and then he engaged in a conversation with a woman from Samaria. That is completely unheard of in that culture, that a Jewish man would stop and speak to a woman from Samaria. That is amazing to think about. Yet Jesus didn't look at her and go, whoop, and take his cart down the next aisle. He saw her, he went there specifically to be with her, and then he also went to have a conversation. Now, Jesus uses the well or water for a way to start the conversation. And there could be many different devotionals taken out of this one passage, but I'm going to take from this point of view. So Jesus used water to be able to start a spiritual conversation with the woman about water that he could provide for her, living water. The woman was going to the well because she was thirsty. She wasn't thirsty just physically, she was thirsty spiritually. And Jesus came to offer water to her, water that was not just physical, but spiritual in need. So the disciples, they are away, they're getting some supplies, and they come back and they see Jesus sitting at the well. And their Jewish culture comes in and says, what is he doing? What is he thinking? And yet in verse 27, nobody has the courage to ask Jesus. They're too afraid to talk to Jesus about this because they know his response. And they know that Jesus is on mission, that he has a purpose to talking to this woman. And I'm going to encourage you to read the rest of the chapter. She talks to Christ, she meets Jesus, and then she actually comes back and tells others to come meet a man that told her everything about him. And her life was changed because Jesus was willing to look at her and talk to her. So the question of application I have this morning is this week. Who is that one person no one will talk to? Who is that one person that you know that people avoid? Don't you think that they deserve and need to hear about the love of Jesus? Who can you make a meeting with to sit and chat? It's going to be a beautiful week here in Central Maine, and people are out and about. It's a great way to engage people in a conversation we haven't seen in a long time, feeling a little bit more safe, having those conversations physically. And what would it look like for you to take the example of Christ and go talk to someone, not avoid them, but talk to them and give them the hope that we all have because of the resurrection? We're really close to Holy Week. We're really close to Good Friday and Easter Sunday, and people are starting to ask questions and wonder what is going on. What a great way to engage someone who needs to hear the encouraging news of the Easter season. So let's take the example of Christ and go find somebody to talk to about the love of Jesus. I hope you have a great afternoon and a great Monday, and I hope you are able to take that bold step to go start a conversation with somebody that nobody else will talk to. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.